Hello, my name is Max and welcome to the top 50 games of all time 2025 edition. Starting off here with the 50 through to 41, but first I wanted to share a couple of stats with you, because in this one there are 20 new games. 20 new games, 20 that was on last year that aren't this time. Maybe I can do top 100 next year, who knows. The one that dropped the most dropped by 21 places, and the one that climbed the most climbed by 16 places. Only one game remains in the same exact spot as it did last year. But let's start off with the 50 through to 41 with number 50, the one that dropped the most. It was 29th last year, now it's down to 50. It could drop out of the top 50 entirely, and it's just down here. It is Long Shot the Dice Game. So Long Shot the Dice Game is still a pretty fun dice game where you race these horses around and try to bet on who wins. Maybe you buy a horse to own it and score more points if it wins. It just doesn't hit the table as much anymore, and this is both a ranking of how much I like the game, but also how much it's going to hit the table. So Long Shot the Dice came down to 50th place. In 49th it is Hint. Hint is a sort of a party game where there are 4 categories per box, which is sort of miming stuff or singing or humming or whatever. It depends on the box that you have. I think it's the red one I prefer because it has the singing ones out there. I really don't like those, slash the humming ones. So it is in 49th Hint. It's a fun little party game where you can be as many as you want. You just split up into a group, and this one isn't new to the list. In 48th, it is another new game to the list, and it sits right over here on the shelf. It is another party game. It is Heart and Brain, the party game. So this one goes just above Hint. What it is it challenges you both on the heart and in the brain, so with your smarts and some physicality, with some very fun changes. This is a party game through and through. It's some silly, fun, stupid challenges. Get 3 heart tokens and 3 brain tokens, so be best on both, and you win. So that is number 48. In 47th place, it is another new. Heart and Brain was new to the game, and in 47th place, it is another new game. It is 7 Wonders. Yeah, it is the original drafting game. It is ranked lowest amongst the drafting games I have in the top 50. I have about 5 or so, and 7 Wonders is here in 47th place. It is the sort of original drafting, so to speak. It's one most people think of when they think about drafting, and it is still absolutely brilliant this day. We've met some people who have all the expansions for it. We've tried it, and I think some of them really adds to the game. So 7 Wonders in 47th place. In 46th place we have another one which has been on the list before, but it has dropped down by 16 places, so it was in 30th last time. It is another drafting game. It is Black Hole Buccaneers. I must admit this has been played less over the time, but I do prefer this maybe over 7 Wonders. I think it's a very fun drafting game which takes all kinds of sci-fi references and put them into a simple enough draft round where you score a bunch of points, and then each round who had the most points get an amount of points. It's very fun, and in the very last round you can go from last to first. It's super fun that way. So yeah, I think Black Hole Buccaneers is just a really great drafting game, but it is fallen down mostly because of all the new games. Remember, it drops by 16 points, there are 20 new games, so it's basically just below the new games. Not quite. Now you have, what do you have here? You have Dinosaur Tea Party, which coincidentally is right behind me. Just keeping up the fact that I'm showing the boxes here for the games. Dinosaur Tea Party, this is another sort of a party game, fun little game where you have 20 dinosaurs spread out and you're trying to guess which of your friends is which of the dinosaurs by asking questions like, do you drink something, or do you have spikes, and all of that, trying to figure out who you are. And I think it's a super fun little party game, and I love the explanations. Why does it contain dinosaurs? Well, because dinosaurs. It's a super fun little party game that hits the list for the first time ever in 45th place. Next up we have a game that was on the list last year, and this is one of the smaller drops. It's right over here. As this game only drops from 40th down to 44th, so only 4 points down. It is a It's a Wonderful World. It's another drafting game. 3 drafting games in the bottom 10 here. That's interesting. I didn't notice that before. But yeah, It's a Wonderful World. This and Seven Wonders were the first sort of drafting games I was introduced to, and I always preferred It's a Wonderful World. I sort of prefer the theme. I sort of prefer how it works, where you can build that last card, and you're creating this resources every single round. You're not guaranteed to draft down everything. I really do prefer this one over Seven Wonders. I just think it works better with saving all the cards for the end and then trying to build them. So a brilliant drafting game that has dropped down ever so slightly. In 43rd place, there's another game that was on the list previously, and it's right over here. I'm gonna bring it right up for you here. It is Happy Little Dinosaurs. We started off the game playing this one like 3 times in a row or something. Happy Little Dinosaurs is a super fun game. It's the first appearance of Unstable Games in this top 50 here. And trust me, they're going to show up again. I think this might even be the lowest ranked of all their games here. Well, not quite. There's some that aren't on the list. But yeah, Happy Little Dinosaurs is a super fun game where you are trying to either score 50 points or just have all your other opponents die to the disasters. So yeah, it is down from, I accidentally scrolled where we at there. It was in 24th last place. It's down 19 places. So that is a little more than, so that's just, well no it's not, well yes it is. It's quite more than the 20 games because we have had 4 of them or something all so far. So it has dropped down a little bit, and I think it's just something to do with you know, when I made this list I preferred these games and the new games really shot up. So there's a mixture of all that, but Happy Little Dinosaurs, trust me, is still a really fun game. I can bring it every time and we will play it. So Happy Little Dinosaurs for 43rd on this year's list. And we are continuing with games that was on the list last year as well in 42nd place. It is a 2-player game. I think this is the first of the 2-player only games that will show up on this list inevitably. I think there's even one that I missed out that I'm going to show up on the list, but maybe should. But this is 1911 Amundsen versus Scott. The story of Roald Amundsen versus Robert Scott and the journey to the South Pole. Contains in this little small box is a pretty fun game that takes the route and challenges you to, well, make it first and change history. I feel really like it. First of all, pole exploration is like one of my favorite subjects in history and stuff, but it's a small little fun game for 2 players. I think it works really well in the little modules that are in here. Absolutely work for the game. So that is 1911 Amundsen versus Scott. It was 25th last year, so that is what, 17 spaces down again. Drops a little bit down because there's other 2-player games that I want to play more, and of course all of the many new games that show up. And in 41st we have another 2-player game, but as far as I remember, this game is not 2-player only. You can play more, but it's one of those where yeah, you can play more, but this is a 2-player game. Down from 27 spots, so down 14 spots. So this one you can still just throw up to the fact of all the new games and switching around with 1911 Amundsen versus Scott, you know, for the 2-player games. It is Star Wars Rebellion. Composing here. Star Wars Rebellion is the epic 2-player game where you are trying to retell the Star Wars story with your own narratives in it towards it. I like it fine. You know, played a lot. I prefer to play as the Empire. I just don't like being the Rebels, and he really likes being the Rebels, so it works perfectly. But yeah, Star Wars Rebellion rounds out the 40s, or 50 through to 41. We have number 40 just coming up, but that is that for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!